All right, working on a OBS Ford here. This particular vehicle is 95 F250. We're going to be replacing the window motor. Window keeps dropping down on us, so it's a weak motor. So you're going to start off, just look around your door, take off any Phillips head screws. You might have various ones across the bottom. You'll have one on your controls, and you'll have one inside your arm rest here. So go ahead and remove all those, and then we'll be ready to take the door panel off. So just lift up on it to pop the power lock. Pop it up over the power lock, and then we're going to slide it over to get around the door handle. Go ahead and, once you have your screw out of your power controls, go ahead and lift up on that and slide that down inside there. And then we'll be able to pull it away. Then on the back side, you're still going to have your light here. Just go ahead and give that a turn and unplug that. And then your panel's off. So right here's our motor in here, and you can see one screw right there. There's going to be another screw right inside this hole, and then another one inside of this hole. They're about 8mm screws. The two that are inside those little access holes can be got with a deep socket. This one here I'm going to get with a wrench. But we'll go ahead and remove those 3 screws. Now, before you completely remove your motor, you see here, it's, like I said, we have a weak motor, so this is just kind of free falling here. Go ahead and put your window in all the way in the up position, and either stick a board in there, or you can take a piece of string and tie from across above here over and around inside the door. You'll see a spot in there where you can tie a piece of string to hold it in the up position. If you don't have your new motor on you yet, then you're going to want to tie that up so it doesn't keep falling down, or so when it rains. I need to take this motor out so that I make sure I order the correct one. So we're going to be a day or two in between processes here. But again, when you remove this motor, the window's going to drop down, so make sure you've already got it held in the up position. Okay, now to get the motor out once you've undone it, or even before you undo it, you can go ahead and remove your speaker and reach down in there to hold it so that it doesn't drop down in the door when you loosen it. So just go ahead and remove your speaker. You'll see your screws around here, and then you'll see your electrical connectors on the back side you have to unplug. So, is it recording?
Yeah.
Can you see what I'm doing? Mm-hmm. Okay, so with the speaker off, this is 3 screws out of the power motor. Here's where this is at. You'll see the connector right here you have to unplug for your power window motor. You pull up on that tab and unplug it, and then you have your motor off. And you'll notice this is the orientation that goes in the door. It goes just like this. These gears engage the track, and so this is weak, and that's why the weight of the window's coming down on it. Inside here is worn out. So that's the motor I'm going to be ordering, and you see the original part number and all there. So we're going to get a new motor ordered, and then we'll finish this up. Okay, so if you are going to be waiting a day or two before you get your new motor, and you do need to tie this open, or closed I should say, right there's where I tied the string, and then I just went around the top of the door there and just brought it right down to that opening and just tied it off. And that'll hold that window in the up position so it doesn't sink on you if it rains out and things. Okay, so here's our new window motor. It does come with new screws, and then it comes with some different harnesses here. Just find out which harness you need for your application so that you can plug it back into your truck. So for this one here, we're going to be using this black one that plugs directly into the motor, and then the other end is already what I need for the truck side. So I'll get this harness plugged in, and then we're going to get this motor reinstalled. Okay, first thing you're going to do is untie the window however you had it held in the up position. If you had a board in there, you're fine to leave the board in there, but if you had string running across there, get that off of there. You're going to fit the motor right back in there, and it's going to go in just like this, just the way we took it out, with the motor facing down, and you see the 3 screw holes, one top, one bottom, one right. Easiest way to do this is as you're fitting it in through the window speaker hole, look through these 3 holes and line these holes up with the mount screws on the motor, because it doesn't really make a defined click or fit in there in a tight way that you're like, okay, it's there. So it's easier just to watch until the holes are lined up and flush up against the door, and then reinstall your screws. It's going to be hard for me to hold the camera and do this at the same time, so I'm going to fit this in there, get this screwed in, and then I'll show you what I mean. Now, one other thing I want to point out, you are going to need to use the screws that came with the new motor, because those are plastic screws. You see they've got thicker threads versus the old screws here that screwed into a metal body. And every aftermarket motor on the market is a plastic body, so don't bother trying to spend hours online looking for a metal bodied one like your old one. They don't exist. I'm going to put a link in the description down below of where I got this motor. But so again, make sure you use the new screws. Another tip here, my sockets are not magnetic, so when you go to hold the motor with one hand and put the screw in with the other, it's going to keep falling. So with the motor just in there loose, I got the first screw started. I'm going to do that for the other two, and then I will use my hand to push the motor all the way up against the frame here in where the gears will be engaged, and then I'll tighten those screws down. And in the meantime, your assistant is holding the window in the full up position. That's where you want it. Okay, so that worked out really well, starting those screws loose and then tightening them up. So we have all three screws fully tightened down now. We have our harness plugged back in. I don't know if this is the particular case here, but I know a lot of times these motor assemblies are a constant 360 rotation, so to speak. So in theory, you could have done this with the motor up, down, or anything else, and it would feel itself out as you ran it through its cycle that first time. So again, I don't know if that's the case with this motor or not. I did it with my window in the fully up position. So turn your ignition on, and let's see what happens. So yeah, that worked out really well, nice and simple. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I have a lot of OBS stuff posted, and there's always more coming as I own quite a few of these trucks. Yeah, that's all there is to replacing your power window motor in your OBS Ford. Go ahead and put your speaker back in, reattach your truck panel, and we're all done here. Thanks for watching.